Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
We're here at the George Washington High School Gymnasium, which, as you can see, is fairly empty. There are only about 75 people here, and this has one of the largest capacities of any shelter on island with about 700. This is in contrast to Dededo, of course, which is overflowing, and they've had to open at least a couple of additional shelters. We're told by the coordinators here that there's only been a trickling of people that have been coming in, and that, in fact, a couple of families from Jigo traveled all the way here because the capacity at the shelters where they would normally go were already at full capacity. Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio was at GW while touring the shelters.
I think a lot of people took it seriously for good reason. It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Young Manila resident Sani sought shelter at the gym with her family.
It's kind of hard, but kind of fun too, because we're living in here.
And you feel safe in here?
Yeah, because it's a big gym and it won't like crash or something.
The Lieutenant Governor says any relief efforts will be launched soon after the storm passes.
Of course, the assessment will be the first thing. The mayors, public safety officials. We have the FEMA representatives. We have Army Corps of Engineers and other federal agencies that are working. The military has been very, very helpful, and we've had a couple of different briefings over the last 3 days.
GMH also began early preparations. Chief Planner William Kondo says they activated their tropical cyclone response plan and stood up the hospital command center.
We actually had to secure the hospital and the skilled nursing facility, so we actually had to start very early because we had to get all of our utilities ready to go. We had to top off on our liquid oxygen, our fuel for the generators and the boilers, water, all of that. So we actually started very early when the first alerts just started coming out.
He says both GMH and GRMC were accepting expectant mothers, a routine precautionary measure for when air pressure drops during storms. Meanwhile, Tumon was flooded with thousands of tourists here for the busy summer travel season. They were forced to hunker down in their hotels as the airport was shut down by midday and all flights were canceled. At the Dusit, a large screen TV monitor was set up in the lobby to update guests on the storm and the airline schedules. Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association President Mary Rhodes.
Every hotel has safety protocols for man-made or natural disasters, and since we follow the condition of readiness, so of course it's just staying out of the waters, not going into the waters because of the high surf advisories, but it's very important to make sure that the streets are cleared. Obviously they're sheltered and placed in some of the more resilient places, and we have our own water and fuel supplies. So the hotels are really, really prepared for this.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.